Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? On this quiet Sunday night, quiet, please. Oh, hey, quiet Sunday night. Uh, Me and my wife, we just went to this restaurant, Mediterranean restaurant here, right? At the new rental buildings by the Bayonne strip mall, right? And that's a nice restaurant. The owner was there, and they treat us well. My wife, she loved that quail. Is that quail or partridge? We have partridges where we come from in the mountains, and my cousins and we used to hunt them. Those are not easy to hunt, all right? Those partridges, because they have the color of the boulders and the rocks, right? So you can't even see them, all right? Except when they make noise. In any case, so I don't know what happened. We were supposed to go to barbecue with my sisters, but I guess they didn't do it. But I went to, I mean, of course, I love my sister, and uh, she just that she lives on the other side of two rivers in Long Island City, and we had to go through two tunnels and all that. But I guess they didn't do the barbecue. But I went to Sky's golf course, walked in and played like 9 holes. That was a nice section. All the wind was fucking crazy, you know. Wind was extremely bad, especially first three, 4 holes, right? And without like talking too much about the fucking, my golf shots, and some of them were horrible, obviously, right? I was playing double balls, which is not good. I mean, if you really want to play golf, you flunked one fucking first ball at the drive. At the drive, I don't really do flunk them, but today it was just like those par threes in the iron, and I don't know, but just two of the par threes, I just screwed them up. All right. In any case, so last 4 holes, 5 holes, it got better, and the wind was also not that much. In any case, so here I am, it's 9:20, and it's already August, so include September, and we only got 2 months of like nice weather. All right, and October is kind of tricky, and then Thanksgiving, and that's it. That's it. And after Thanksgiving, basically we are done. We basically done, man. I would love to go to Florida after. So in any case, we were also looking at all those like rentals. We went to the restaurant. It's a nice area. There's a golf course, beyond golf course, but it's a private golf course. And there's water, you can walk. And I mean, it's a nice, quiet area, quieter than this fucking Sims factory we have here, right? Obviously. And we have to make a decision. I mean, my wife says that we should stay here for another year. I mean, I sleep in the living room, right? On the floor, because I can't fucking deal with that noise from the window. But I guess she can, and sometimes I feel bad for her, and then feel bad for myself that we can't sleep in the bedroom. But in any case, so uh, I do in the morning, but in any case, without getting too much into fucking detail, but we got to make a decision, you know. Either we move or we just stay here, you know. Another good thing that has happened with our fucking condos is that apparently, you know, they got some loan approved by a bank. So what does that mean? That means, shit, look at my skull, how shiny it is. You can see the fucking light in it, right? It's like a mirror. Jesus fucking Christ. You know, I used to have hair. Oh my freaking God, dude. Getting old. Older! You know? You're not going back in history. We were moving forward in history. We are becoming history. All right? So what happens to our memories at the end? Do we lose all of them? Well, you know, we do lose memory as we grow older. Like I mean, I would love to like get rid of all those fucking bad memories. All right, I would love to. In any case, so uh, I I want to talk about something other than like you know talk about all the negativity. You know, like not negativity. I'm just talking about like instead of whining, let's talk about something like different. All right. So memories, our memories somehow, uh, you know, are in the chip of our brain, all right, biological chip, wherever they're stored, right? Because obviously our brain is taking all this information, right? Our visual memories and our, you know, uh, memories of events and even, you know, our speech and you know our conversations with friends and family and blah 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 loved ones etc right and image and what happens does it basically die like a computer when we die right so a computer when it's like CPU is dead right somehow so but the memory is still there somewhere right I mean obviously right hard disk I mean our brains are not exactly like computers but somehow you know there are parts of certain parts of brain I think certain memories you know like temporary memory and then the permanent memories right it's like a RAM and ROM of computers is that true what I'm saying but the brains cannot retrieve them all right there's no way you can retrieve it there's no we don't have that fucking technology and we won't have that technology to retrieve somebody's fucking memories all right just like connecting their brains into some sort of a fucking you know like wires on one on this side one on the other side right don't that do that actually to get into like somebody's memories I don't think so all right our brain is too complicated and you can't retrieve the memories like that all right so what the hell am I talking about is that memory actually in our brain our mind right well, brain is the physical entity, right? And then the mind is basically just the software. Is that the software? Is mind software of the brain? Or is that like that? There's this just basically makes us as human, because without our mind, we are basically nothing, right? So is that connected somehow to the universe, or some sort of universal like network of brains, or which is invisible, right? So we are already connected in, through our mind. I mean, somebody was talking about that on, I think, Joe Rogan's podcast the other day. And so the mind has this antenna, apparently, right? This invisible antenna which actually transmits and receives. Receives, I'm not sure. I never received anything from anybody other than like, through five senses. But I guess it gets transmitted into other dimension. Is that what it is? That's where the whole like the universal computer is. I don't fucking idea. All right, so that's a possibility. All right, is I mean I think there are theories and speculations, and it's more like philosophy than like anything proven. All right, I mean you can't even prove that there's dark universe and dark energy. Well, I mean you could prove through calculations, right? Physics and mathematics. Why do I always go like refer to dark energy and dark universe? You know, dark matter. Because that's invisible. So what the fuck is it if it's invisible? What does that even mean? It's invisible. So we can't see it means like obviously we can't see it, right? Light cannot detect it. Or even gamma rays are one of those fucking rays, right? Alpha rays. I have no fucking idea, all right? Uh, so where am I going with this? All right, so the the memory is so that okay. So again, this is also my speculation that somehow our memory gets transmitted to the universe through that invisible antenna of our mind. All right, and so what does that mean? It means that we live even after we are physically dead. Is that what it is? I have no fucking idea. But that would be like jumbled up fucking like self, right? Like if you were to say, oh shit, now I'm in this is in these other rounds. I'm no longer on planet Earth, but I'm still here somewhere. Where am I? Right? And then you were like, oh shit, this okay, so these okay, I'm now my memories of this time and that time and it's like a fucking jumbled up like, you know, entity, non-physical entity. Is that what we become? I have no fucking idea. All right. Um, no, I think it's more. I mean, I don't want to talk about fucking what happens after we die, but uh, while we are here and alive, I think people somehow figure out those things, and and shamans, not shamans, and yeah, maybe shamans too. They actually are doing, I think those shamans, especially, the ones who take psychedelics, and they are in that spiritual whatever realm is, right? Their spirit is basically just connected like to the fucking universe, and that I think they see through time and distances. I think they see the future. I'm not sure they can see the past. All right. So that I mean that concept in itself is so fucking bizarre. All right. So what does that mean? They can see through the future. So how do they have like a looking glass, or is there like when they like get into that trance of whatever, you know, they your mind gets into that, right, through whatever meditation or psychedelics or whatever, right? So what does that mean? That they actually start seeing somehow the the present and the future, or how does that work? You see these concepts, even like a concept of a non-human being, all right, is also bizarre for our mind, all right, because we are just like we are prone to living this physical life in this, in these dimensions. So all these are like foreign concepts, alien concepts to us, for us. And life uh, has somehow evolved to this point of where we are as humans, right? And I think in the background noise, somehow, it tells us that, hey, so do you know that there may be something else going on, this universe and planets and stars and the whole, like, the structure of these galaxies and these extraterrestrial or even our own planetary system. Maybe there is more to this. All right. I'm kind of in the school of thought that the, the physical universe is manifested from, like sort of like you can say nothingness, but then physics says that, oh, there's a particle. It's called Higgs boson, whatever the hell they call it, right? That actually gives the universe, the physical matter, right? Hence, our bodies, all the fucking, rocks, everything, right? Planets and even gas and, like hydrogen, all these things, right? And so, part of even Higgs boson, I think there's nothingness, honestly. If you go that deeper, you'll say, oh shit, I spent all these fucking 100 years researching the whole thing, and then I realized it's just basically universe is manifested out of nothingness, you know. So that nothingness itself is like some sort of a mesh. I think it's a mesh that actually is is manifesting this, this physical world. So what is that? I think that's what the whole, you know, gazillion dollar paradoxical question, right? So that means that this just universe has been, I mean, I also of the school of thought that this universe has been like this forever. It's expanding, but I think it has been here for like unfathomable amount of time. All right, as much as it's unfathomable, I can't even fucking say that. Unfathomable, oh Jesus Christ. All right, so it also is in that sense. It has just manifested, sort of like itself. And not that, is going to give us any satisfaction, but maybe that we are this like this entity are this fit like this biological, creature, uh, and and maybe I don't think it's just only us. There are gazillion planets and gazillion worlds, so it's got to be more, right? So in that sense, somebody or some other species on this planet, I mean, in our galaxy or another galaxy, must have figured out the whole fucking universe as what it is. Maybe they have gone under. Mean they have not gone under. Maybe they have gone into those dimensions. They don't want to even fucking bother with this physical universe. I mean, why would you want to bother with this physical pain? You have to get up early in the morning, whatever. You gotta go to the fucking bathroom. You gotta take the fucking shower. Oh my god. You gotta put on clothes and what? Are you kidding me? That's like that's like so primitive. We are in this fucking, you know, non-physical world where why do you need to even eat whatever pasta or pizza? I mean, you don't need that, man. I think those are the advanced civilizations. Probably they have figured it out. All right, and if that's the case, then that means that they are also basically in this part of that whole mesh of the what do you call the non-physical nature of world or reality of the universe, right? So again, that's also bizarre, right? It's a bizarre concept. Although when you take psychedelic, then you really it sort of like gives you that ability to see through this and see it as not as bizarre as you would think in a normal situation. All right, so that means that the universe itself is trying to tell us something, you know, that, well, you know, uh, maybe maybe in that mesh of the non-physical universe. I mean, they're talking about different dimensions. So maybe in different dimensions, those advanced civilizations, or they have fit themselves into one of those, or maybe two or three dimensions, right? Like for example, ours is this physical dimension, right? The three physical dimensions. So maybe that's what it is. That's what I mean. The end game is for us too. Maybe 200 years, 300 years, we're like, oh, I don't want to fucking do this. No. Like, do you want me to travel from like wherever city to another city to do what business? You kidding me? You know? And boring as it may sound, but that's probably the end game of the whole reality. All right, you want to be intellectually like sort of like you know uh, be very informed about everything, and then we have, let's say, even one way to travel, close to speed of light, and then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, why are you fucking wasting those fuel cells even to do what? You're gonna go to another fucking planet and give them advice on like how to build, you know, what infrastructure, bullet trains, bullet speed, or whatever the fuck, right? Now you got to now divert all your resources, humans, and try to figure out through whatever meditation or whatever it is. Try to basically engage your mind into those dimensions, and then at some point in time you say, "That's it." Though that reality is even more real, and also better than this, right? And that becomes one of those movies, Schwarzenegger movies, right? Where they are promising you that there's better life on Mars. Oh, here's a ticket to vacation on Mars, right? And meanwhile, these fucking miners from these mining bots, humanoid bots from these fucking asteroids and whatever the fuck they were mining, what kind of metal they were mining, they're coming back to fucking Earth and they're complaining about their like union and their you know and the you know benefits and all that, and then just start a fucking war, right? The machines. So that's a possibility, but down the maybe 100 years down the road, all right, down the pike of time. Well, I won't be here, you know. But some people, people who actually get into like really like you, what do you call, who immerse themselves into just that whole mesh of the non-physical reality. Basically, I think they just immerse themselves into that, uh, you know, whatever you call it, spiritual world, whatever it is, right? And then they just basically, uh, including like Sufis, they just become, I think, sort of like uh, disengaged from this physical universe, sort of like, and then they become engaged in their own mind. I guess that's antenna, what I'm talking about. Basically, they just start real communication and everything with that antenna, and then they just get into that fucking whatever, right? And they just annihilate themselves into this non-physical and nature of the world. I think that's what it is, and they become oneness with the universe. Did I say that somehow and without making any fucking sense? Because I know, I mean, who am I to actually even talk about these things? I have no fucking idea. I've never been to any of that. I mean, I'm too fucking lazy to even meditate and like, that's not, I mean, it's not my nature. Maybe I will always just try to take the shortcuts. In any case, so that's my podcast, everyone. Half an hour. I presume you all are having a great weekend. Do you miss World Cup? There's no sports. I mean, we were watching that. What the fuck we were watching? I think there's golf, right? And then there's tennis. You can watch. But I was out Friday and, with my friends, and we were talking about like World Cup. Everybody was like, oh, man, we all missed fucking World Cup. When is it again? You know, 4 years, 2020, 30. Let me say what happened. What medications she's talking about? You're not taking any medications, right? Oh, because she works. I get it. All right, so everyone, so that's my podcast, and I hope I made at least some sense of what the hell I was talking about. Maybe not, but we will continue. We will continue, and so that's how I got to report. What island? What someday island? Oh yeah, she's reading this book by I don't know what. Oh my God. Yeah, basically he's talking about get off your ass and do something instead of complaining. All right, not doing anything, just do complain, complain, complain. I mean, I'm one of those sometimes. I just talk about shit and I don't act upon it. So that's I mean, even this apartment we were talking about, right? Do you want to move? Just move, man. Why are we even talking about all the fucking time? Although it's not as simple. But all right, in any case, everyone. So that's it. That's my podcast. I will talk to you all next week. Sayonara.